As you can see, once again, I'm doing this from my phone, but I'm in a completely different environment. Y'all know where I'm at, and I ain't going into that detail. So, for those that were on Twitter, some of y'all saw me rage. Some of y'all saw me pretty much off hinge and definitely colorful with my words, and I am not going to take them back. But I will say this. This pay-per-view does not deserve a review. Not from me. And I'm not going to say it was horrible. I'm not going to say it was gutter trash. I'm not going to say that at all, because there were a few matches that were solid, in my opinion. The tag match, in my opinion, was pretty solid. Lana tried in her match. She actually did try. And I give her complete kudos for that. Then we saw the debut of Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett. But for some strange reason, they decided to make him Mike Kanellis instead of Mike Bennett. Of course, I kind of expected this from WWE because it came from TNA. And of course, he's not going to mind Maria because Maria's nice to look at. But he's going to completely neuter the husband. Yeah, I kind of expected that out of Vince. Sorry. If Vince is in control of everything, he's the one that approved it. Which really pisses me off about this man. The fact that Baron Corbin won Money in the Bank, I don't care. I don't. I consider him still the most boring heel on the mic. But he has amazing finishers and have sick moves. I'm not going to deny that. And him being Money in the Bank, being a Money in the Bank holder does not bother me at all. And not even the Fashion Police can save this for me. Because when you start off with one of the most historic matches that was that happened pretty much in Money in the Bank history, a match that a lot of the fans, especially the women wrestlers, have been asking for before the brand split and probably sometime after. This is something that they have actually wanted for years, and you booked them like shit. Sorry. I am not gonna uncensor myself when it comes to this. I usually do. I usually try to be a lady about it, but I ain't. I don't feel like one right now. They literally booked the entire opening match like shit. Seriously. And I know a lot of people on Twitter were saying, oh, this is going to bring massive heel heat. Oh, it's going to make you want to watch SmackDown. Fuck that noise. And I'm saying that right now. Fuck that noise. And I don't usually say this kind of language. But I've never been more angry and pissed off in my life. Because of the fact that they actually thought this was a good idea to have James Ellsworth literally climb up the ladder and pull it down and throw it to Carmella. I have never been more insulted in my life. And I'm not even a female wrestler. But I know those wrestlers worked their asses off to get that to get to that point. They made such a big deal of WrestleMania 32 about the women's revolution, and it actually did start off with a bang. But for some strange reason, either the men are getting offended by it behind the scenes, or maybe just they don't think it's worth anything. And I am not trying to be a feminist, because y'all know I hate feminism with every fiber of my being. I'm not trying to say it's sexist either. But I am saying that what they did was unfair. Even though you can probably say it is sexist and maybe a bit misogynistic. You could probably say that. And I wouldn't disagree with you. This was the first ever historic women's Money in the Bank. And like I said before, a lot of fans as well as a lot of the wrestlers have been begging for this. And they finally get it for that ending. And it's legit. And JBL, oh my gosh, I would not be surprised if people wanted to choke that dude. I would get if they really wanted to. Because he's saying, well, they did nothing. They didn't break no rules. How can you say it didn't break no rules if it's the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match? We know it's no freaking DQ. We get it. But the fact is, James is not a woman. I know people may disagree with you when it comes to that. But James is not a woman. He's a man. So why did they allow him to go up the ladder and take it down? And I know people like, well, it was just, the fact that it was a heel tactic from valets and managers. He's not a manager. He's a valet to her. And tell me, maybe I'm wrong here. But tell me in the comments below. Maybe it's something I missed for all you encyclopedias out there. Let me know if there has ever been an event in wrestling history to where, and this is like for women now, that you had the guy do for the woman. Maybe it's in another franchise. Maybe it's somewhere elsewhere. I probably don't know. I haven't seen all the wrestling in the world. Maybe it's happened before. I really don't know. But the fact is, you got somebody as weak and mediocre as Carmella. She has a lot more to prove than everybody else in the ring. And you're going to have a man do that for her? And he's valeting to her. I'm sorry. That was completely ridiculous. I've never been so angry in my life to see that. And I don't even like Carmella that much. But I know that she had a lot more to prove than everybody else in the ring. And you're going to allow James Ellsworth to go up and take it down? And then call it legit? I'm sorry. That should have been set from the get-go. He should have not been there. I would have had more respect for her if she won it on her own. I may not have liked it, but I would have had far more respect for Carmella if she won it on her own. But now I don't. It don't change. She's still mediocre and plain. She's still there. That's all it is. She's just there. And now James Ellsworth's supposed to be the draw for her? What? All I know is I'm not going to say that this pay-per-view is garbage for that reason. Like I said before, there were some matches that were solid. The whole WWE Championship match, that was predictable. I knew that Jinder was going to win. Come on now. They're trying to get into India. It makes no sense for them to go to Randy, who's a part-timer anyway, because he wants to be near his family. It makes sense. Randy's on his way out. That's a given. And all the other matches, the fact that Baron Corbin was going to win, I mean, please, everybody knew that was going to happen. And everybody had a feeling that the main event was going to be was supposed to be a lot better. Honestly, I had every ounce of energy taken out of me. I could give two craps about the main event. I really did not care about the men's Money in the Bank ladder match because the women's was so fucked up. I could care less. I can care less about the whole pay-per-view after that happened. That literally took the wind out of my sails. So I didn't really have enough energy to care about all the other matches and compare what was good and what wasn't. Except for the tag. I will say the tag was decent. But I could care less about everything else. They honestly thought this was a good idea. And I've never been so pissed off in my life seeing that. Because those women, and even going to Twitter, all the women were pissed. There was not one happy camper, except for Carmella. And I wouldn't even have put a tweet down after that. But other than that, y'all, if y'all want to say how you felt about Money in the Bank, go ahead, leave in the comments. But as for me, this don't deserve a review. Not by a long shot. Not from me. I'm done. Out.